Getting people started is the hardest. It's getting people, not struggling from the first video is the most important thing.
With the course creation, I've always been interested in is
Mhm.
what have you learned about the process of learning in general from doing that? Whether it's helped you to solidify your data science knowledge more, or whether that's helped you to teach others better. What have you learned either from the feedback or from putting these things together that might have surprised you?
A lot of good content is really just about the effort that you put in. Because oftentimes, if people, for certain tasks, just going underneath the scenes of course creation, people often pay you for content. Doesn't necessarily mean it'll always be good content. So there's some courses out there that people just pay for content, people get done as fast as possible, get the paycheck, if it's just like a flat fee. And that's kind of a not great thing about course content in general for some places. But I've learned a lot about how students learn by, them coming to me like, hey, there's some error in your content, or this needs to be updated because this installation process changed, or, this method changed or whatever. So I learn like how to update my content, how to be super clear by my students coming back to me, or my blog post readers or my course content people coming back to me. I have also learned about how to structure things. I think the biggest thing I learned about course creation and that sort of thing from all this process is getting people started is the hardest. It's getting people, not struggling from the first video is the most important thing. Can they get, Python installed? Could they get, Google Colab working if you're using that? Can you get them past, day one? And then the process is a lot easier. Because oftentimes we just want to get to the exciting part, the machine learning or, deep learning or whatever. And I find a lot of course creators, like I've been guilty of this before too. We spend less time on the less fun stuff and the stuff that we're interested in ourselves. So I've learned spend time helping people get off the ground.
That's something I think I could probably work on quite a bit as
Hmm.
well. So yeah, that's a really good piece of insight. That's not something that I always think about. Oh, like where's the meat of this? But
Hmm.
I mean, if you think of a YouTube video, it's the same thing. Is that if people are lost in the first couple seconds, they're just going to click off.
Yeah, of
Um,
course.
Whether it's they're not interested, they don't like you, or whatever it might be. Um, but yeah, I would almost say it's like important to kind of front load a little bit. Is that, hey, how do we make this, the production, whatever it is, as useful as possible in the beginning? And if they reach a certain threshold, they're probably going to be in for the long run at this point.
Yeah, and they'll be less frustrated and they're not gonna have to go to another place that doesn't spend as much effort in the beginning either.